Hello, everyone. I will go over your third pre-lab to get you ready for our water quality investigation on Friday, which is tomorrow. So by the end of this lab, you guys should be able to explain what a watershed is and why our watershed's important, understand the importance of water quality testing, identify some specific parameters that scientists are looking for when they're testing water quality, and execute water quality testing from water collected from various locations. So first, what is a watershed? Well, according to USGS, a watershed is an area of land that drains all the streams and rainfall to a common outlet, such as the outflow of a reservoir, mouth of a bay, or any point along a stream channel. So anytime that we have stormwater that's flooded, all of the debris and chemical and waste that it picks up will eventually end up in the watersheds. Or if your car is leaking coolant or oil or gas, that will also eventually end up into the watershed. So why should we care about the health of our watersheds? Well, most importantly, that's where a lot of our drinking water comes from. But also, we swim in our watershed, we fish in our watershed, we kayak or canoe in the watershed. So it has a lot of recreational purposes. But speaking of fishing, a lot of our food comes from the watershed. So if you eat food or maybe some mussels, shrimp, or crabs, especially if they're freshwater, that comes from some of your local watersheds. So, how do scientists test for water quality? Well, the scientists go to their area of study, so a pond, lake, or a river, and they collect water samples and they can test some specific parameters on the spot, or they can bring some of that water back into the lab and do the same exact test to determine its quality. With that information, it can help scientists and us humans know if our water is safe to drink and use, as well as if the food that came from that watershed or water source is safe to consume. So, you guys will be water quality analysts for a day. You and your lab partner will be testing out water samples that Mr. Thomas and I have collected, and you will be using indicator tablets and chemicals throughout the lab. So for the first part of lab, you are looking for the amount of nitrate, phosphate, dissolved oxygen, and the pH of the water. While in the second part of the lab, you are going to look for the presence of chromium, cyanide, iron, silica, and sulfides. So lab materials will be provided for you. So our water sample, the tablets, chemicals, gloves, all that good stuff will be provided for you. However, you do need to bring your laptop to have access to the lab instructions as well as document your answers. If you have your phone with you, you will need it to use it as a timer for your test. Of course, you need to bring yourself to class in order to do this lab. So unlike our previous two labs, this lab requires a lot of safety attention. So please pay attention to this part. Throughout the entire time you're doing this lab, you need to wear your gloves. So if you need to step out and use the restroom, you need to take off your first pair of gloves, go use the restroom, come back in, and put on a new pair of gloves. You cannot take off your gloves and do this lab at any point. Do not drink or eat any of the tablets, chemicals, or water samples involved in this lab. It is not safe for you. You guys are grown and you should know that already. Please do not wear flip-flops or flats during this day. Please try to wear sneakers because we are dealing with chemicals. Even though I will be handling the chemicals, I don't want to risk a spill on any of your toes. I don't want you guys to have a chemical burn. For all my students with long hair, please tie it back throughout the time of lab. So during instruction time, you can keep it down. After cleanup, you can keep it down. But when we are doing tests with the chemicals and the tablets, please leave it up. I just don't want anything to get stuck on your hair that can irritate your skin or your hair to accidentally knock over something. You may be working with glass containers. If it breaks, do not touch it. You need to let me or Mr. Thomas know so that we can safely dispose of it and clean it up. And at any point, if you have no idea what you're doing or how to activate some of these tests, let me know, because I rather you do the correct instructions rather than doing the wrong instructions. So with that being said, I hope you guys are excited for this lab tomorrow. I can't wait to see you guys. So enjoy.